Industry partners like Google play an important role in the growth of Singapore's digital ecosystem as enablers for our industries and our enterprises. How are you? You have reached the destination.
What a great way to open our event. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Google for Singapore. I'm Grace, representing the Singapore communications team here at Google, and today it is a privilege to be your MC as we celebrate our 15 years here. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our guest of honor, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Mr. Lawrence Wong, as well as to our esteemed partners, clients, and distinguished guests in attendance today. To all of you watching on the live stream, thank you for joining, and it's great to have you with us. Now, as we continue to look towards a bright future, it is just as important to take a step back and revisit our past. So to share more about the history of why it was so important for Google to come to Singapore those many years ago and the growth that we've seen is our Chief Executive Officer of Google, Sundar Pichai. We'll now play his welcome video all the way from Mountain View.
Hello, everyone. Deputy Prime Minister, distinguished guests, it's an honor to welcome you to our first Google for Singapore event. While I wish I could be there in person, maybe even sharing a kopi and kaya toast, I know you're in good hands with the team. Today is a chance to celebrate the deep ties that Google and Singapore have built over the past 15 years, and to strengthen our partnership for the future. We opened the first Google Singapore office in 2007 as part of our mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. It was a natural decision to expand to Singapore. It's a country that is such an important hub for technology, trade, and ideas. It's also a place that shares our optimism about technology and the ways people can use it to make their lives and communities better. We are proud of how our technology and tools empower Singaporeans as they embrace the internet and digital economy. Over the years, our team in Singapore has grown to nearly 3,000 people, working on products like Google Pay that are helping people around the world. Today, Singapore is our Asia-Pacific headquarters. It's the anchor for our efforts to serve the 2.5 billion people online in the region, many of them new to the internet. These efforts are deeply personal for me. Having grown up in India, it's inspiring to see Asia play such an important role in shaping the future of technology. And Singapore has been core to that progress. We've appreciated the chance to work closely with the Singapore government and our industry partners focused on shared priorities. Today, we'll be sharing our plans to ensure more Singaporeans can benefit from technology, thrive in the digital economy, and help lead innovation for the region. We are excited about what's next for our partnership. There are so many opportunities ahead, and we look forward to harnessing them together. Thank you.
Thank you, Sundar, for that inspiring welcome message. And now we have a lot of exciting news to share with everyone today. So let's start with our first keynote. Here to give an overview of Google's contributions and deepening investments is Scott Beaumont, President for Google Asia Pacific. Scott, please.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Google for Singapore. I'd also like to extend my welcome and thanks to the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance Lawrence Wong for coming. Thank you, sir, for being here. To our other distinguished guests, including Casey Mace, the Deputy Chief of Mission for the US Embassy here in Singapore, and actually to a lot of our partners who I'm really thrilled to see here today. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us to celebrate our first 15 years here in Singapore. Now, since 2007, we've partnered with public sector, with private sector, large and small, with not-for-profits, and throughout the community here in Singapore, hopefully to bring the best of technology to Singapore. And as Sundar said, it was kind of natural that Singapore would become a home for us, here at the center of the most vibrant region in the world, where technology is really appreciated and really shines in a country that always looks beyond the horizon. And we've worked on things like the SME Leadership Academy or Skills Ignition SG, which look to help Singaporeans train and develop careers in this new digital economy. Our cloud team works with private companies, small and large, from the Ninja Vans of this world to the N2UC Enterprise, helping them with their digital transformation. Our sister company, Debug by Verily, is working with the National Environment Agency, hopefully, if their plan comes good, to eradicate dengue fever from Singapore. And then we enjoy doing things also at a more grassroots level. You know, working on projects such as coding in the community, or with the Fei Family Service Centre to make sure that every Singaporean has access to the technology that we all in this room take for granted. And so today, we're going to be talking about a number of topics where we're going to be going deeper. We're going to be talking about online safety. We're going to be talking about economic opportunity, and we're going to be talking about sustainability. For online safety, we want every Singaporean to understand the tools and the assets that they have at their disposal, how to use them safely and responsibly, and how to protect themselves online. In terms of economic opportunity, you're going to hear more about our skills programs, where we're able to clearly identify particular role types where there is much more demand today compared to the supply of people that are actually trained to take on those tasks. And so when you undertake these vocational skills, you've got a very real opportunity of being employable and beginning your career in the digital world from day one. And we're going to talk about sustainability. Now, Google begins well within its third decade of climate action, but this is probably going to be our most challenging. We've set ourselves the goal of being carbon-free before the end of the decade, and actually that kind of goal can't happen without strong partnership. And it's partnerships such as the one between Google Cloud and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, looking at the finance industry and looking how the finance industry can operate more sustainably, which is really going to make a difference and hold us in good stead going forward. Now, all of these things can't happen without a strong, motivated series of teams behind the scenes. And here within Google, within Singapore, compared to 24 starting the operation back in 2007, there are over 3,000 of us now today. And whether you're in the business operations, one of the support functions, whether you're in the engineering teams working on products like Google Assistant or Maps or Google Lens or Google Pay, which was actually originated here in Asia, there's a lot of passion to see the way that we can actually contribute to the communities through Singapore. And it's not just in this building. And in fact, some of the largest investments aren't in this building at all. They're to do with huge infrastructure projects like bringing subsea cables to land in Singapore, to connect Singapore and Singapore to the region and the region to the world. Literally the backbone of the internet. Or it's our data centers. We launched our first data center back in 2011. We announced the second one in 2015. And we're just now bringing our third one online in Jurong, not far away from here. And the investments alone in those data centers total now somewhere in the region of just over $1 billion Singapore dollars. Really quite extraordinary. So I'm going to hand over to Ben to talk a little bit about these three themes. But before I do that, let me just say that the reason why we're able to go deeper on these projects, the reason why we're able to invest, is because of our confidence in Singapore and our confidence in the future of Singapore. It's clearly rewarding for all of us to be able to contribute our knowledge, our capabilities to the country, but it's only possible actually because here is a place which is looking beyond the horizon and looking for ways in which technology can succeed and exist in everyday lives. Together, we are definitely going to build a stronger shared future. Thank you very much.
Singapore's journey from humble beginnings to a global hub has shown that anything is possible with vision and ambition. And that same spirit has inspired all of us at Google over the past 15 years as we've worked with our partners to take on some of the region's biggest challenges.
Asia Pacific has grown exponentially. While we are working to scale the digital needs, we are also exploring new ways to reduce the environmental impact. We have built some of the most energy-efficient data centers and invested in our subsea cable network to better serve our customers. Our goal is to scale the future more sustainably.
As we scale up, we want to ensure that nobody is left behind. And that is why we're investing in community initiatives to empower folks with lesser means to have equal access to our technology and tools.
It's like a whole new world that has been opened up for you, and I think it's really cool.
Our products impact and empower individuals and businesses all over the world. Google Pay, used by millions, is built by a team out of Singapore. We want to get everyone to participate in the digital economy, and our goal is to make money simple, secure, and helpful.
As we move forward, we also want to cherish our roots. Hawker culture is such a big part of Singapore's heritage. Over the years, we have added over 13,000 hawker centers to Google Maps, and we are going to keep investing in all of the things that matter to us yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
我和我家人在这摊位付出的精神和精力，因为有谷歌的存在，让我们的传统能延续下去，这是我们的骄傲。
We're excited about this journey together because there's so much opportunity in Asia Pacific to build a brighter, shared future, starting now.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you all for being with us here today. It's a really special day for us here as Google Singapore. You know, since opening our first office in 2007, we've witnessed the extraordinary evolution of Singapore to become the digital tech hub that it is today. Its people are some of the most highly connected globally, having access to some of the fastest and most affordable internet speeds on a global stage. And digital, it's ingrained deeply into all of our lives. We're seeing this in various reports. According to our 2021 economy study, which we do in collaboration with Bain and Temasek, 97% of local internet users use digital services such as e-commerce, such as digital payments and online streaming on a daily basis. Now, benchmarked versus the rest of Southeast Asia, that's extraordinary. The benchmark is 80%. Our seniors, they're also getting online. Numbers from the IMDA show that smartphone usage among people aged 75 years and above has actually grown from 2019 to 41% to 60% only 1 year later. And getting comfortable with digital starts really early in this country. A survey we commissioned showed that kids as young as 8 years old are coming online for the first time. Now, 8 is benchmarked versus a global average of 10. So clearly it's starting really early. Now, that's really wonderful. It's great that kids are getting introduced to technology at a really young age. But that also comes with a range of different challenges and a range of different responsibilities that we need to think about and navigate very carefully. At Google, we really realise the responsibility to keep people safe online. At a global scale, we continue to invest in developing products that are secure by default and private by design. Tools such as two-step verification were developed to strengthen people's Google accounts. Our privacy and security checkup features, they're really designed to allow users to review and ultimately manage their security settings and be ultimately in total control. But to us, providing tools, it's just not enough. We need to think a little bit more carefully about how we're educating people to get the best out of these tools, how to deploy them in a meaningful way. It's really our goal to develop knowledge and confidence, especially within vulnerable communities, and in particular, our elderly and also our young children. With more seniors using digital payments, this is just one example, we need to ensure they safeguard themselves from online risks. Since the start of this year, we've worked closely with local non-profit RSVP Singapore and grassroots organisations in Jurong Spring to guide our elderly step by step on the safe usage of online payments, such as Google Pay. When I think about my parents, look, I know how much patience it takes to help them get started with technology, so we're very grateful to work alongside our partners to help, as it stands today, around 700 seniors take that first step into the digital sphere through these various different touch points. Now, we'll continue to evolve this work, and we'll continue to expand our topics into other areas of cyber hygiene practices so they can safely navigate the online world. Likewise, technology, it's become a valuable tool for our children to learn, for our children to explore, and also for our children to express their creativity. But as I mentioned earlier, it's equally important that the online space remains safe for them as well. Globally, we've built products such as YouTube Kids and also Family Link to help parents create a safe environment for their children, but also to help manage their screen time. Our educational Be Internet Awesome program also provides families with free and easy to access resources to learn about digital safety in a fun and engaging way. And that really brings me to what I'm excited to share with you today. We're going to build on this existing work, and we're committing to training 50,000 Singaporean parents and kids around online safety over the next 12 months. We're doing this with the help of our deeply committed partners, working with IMDA and the Media Literacy Council, and in support of the Digital for Life movement. We'll bring the Be Internet Awesome program to primary schools around the country through various different touchpoints. Together, the goal is, with educators, we want to introduce students to 5 principles of being internet smart, being internet alert, strong, kind, and brave through hands-on activities in the Be Internet Awesome curriculum. We'll also work closely with them to host assembly talks by digital literacy experts. So to help our children learn about digital safety through play, we've also created our Google Online Safety Park, and that brings our Be Internet Awesome program to life through games and play. We presented this interactive experience at IMDA's Digital for Life Festival in May, and we were able to engage over 2,000 parents and kids through that forum alone. And we're excited to invite even more children to our Online Safety Park as it transforms into a roving bus. And some of you might have seen it downstairs as you entered. It's kicking off its journey at our office today. Please pop in and see what it looks like if you have a chance. And it's going to make its way to its first school, CHIJ Katong Convent, and then it'll move to West Grove Primary School just this week. So to close, look, there are billions of people who go online every single day, and our work to protect them, it will never, ever end. As Google and as parents, sons and daughters, we have the shared responsibility to equip our young and our old to be empowered, responsible digital citizens. Together we can make the internet an even better place for Singapore. And I just want to play a video and hear from some of the students and teachers from CHIJ Katong and our partners at IMDA.
So one day when I was playing this game online and I started scrolling through the chat, there was this person whom I didn't know, and he just texted rude stuff. I didn't know what those words meant though until I asked my mom about it, and then she was like, those are bad words, you should never ever repeat those, and I swore that I would never ever play that game again.
The internet is a fun and exciting place for our students. Therefore, it is very important to teach them how to develop good digital habits. Example like creating strong passwords, learning how to discern fake news and real news, and how they can protect themselves online. We use Google's Be Internet Awesome to complement our cyber wellness curriculum. It helps to empower our students to protect them against online threats.
Over the past few years, we have seen people relying on digital platforms more than ever. We must ensure that no one gets left behind in digital inclusion, literacy, and wellness. Through the Digital for Life movement and the SG Digital Office, we are working with many of our partners like Google to help keep Singaporeans safe online, especially children, families, and seniors.
I learned how to stay safe online. Whenever I come across a link, you always look through the link and see if it's a scam or if actually it's real. I now report something or ignore something when I see something that is not nice or not meant to be said online.
I think knowledge is power. It's never too young to learn how to be smart, safe, and respectful online.
It's my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to, well, please. As I said, we want to extend a warm welcome to Sonia, Leah, and Mei Mei, who are here with us today, and we're looking forward. And we're looking forward to travelling to your school later this week. I'll close now, and I'll hand over to my colleague, Sri Ong, who will be talking a little bit more about empowering Singaporeans through economic opportunities.
Thanks, Ben. So we're so privileged to be here in Singapore, a global center of innovation that continues to grow in stature. This is so core to us building a smart, sustainable, and resilient nation. According to Alpha Beta Report, digital transformation can unlock $65 billion in annual economic value by 2030 for Singapore. So at Google, we're committed to ensure that our digital efforts and digitization efforts deliver an inclusive growth opportunities for all. Staying true to that mission of empowering Singaporeans today for tomorrow, we look to execute it in two ways. First, by bridging the skills gap to unlock more opportunities for Singaporeans. Second, by advancing capabilities, especially in the field of artificial intelligence. See, we've already witnessed that technology is pivotal in transforming businesses, opening that access to global markets, as well as improving how we live, work, and play. One of the barriers to realizing new digital growth, especially for small, medium businesses, as well as the startups, is the lack of resources and access to global talent pool. So Google has been bridging that talent gap across three communities: SME, the startups, as well as the developer communities through various services. First, our digital practitioner program, in partnership with Enterprise Singapore, is helping small businesses and owners get online for better customer engagement experience. Second, our Google for Startup Cloud program has been providing tech mentorship as well as funding to empower the next generation of homegrown unicorns. To support the developers, we are providing modular GCP. This is to give developers the resources as well as the community that they need to stay ahead of the curve. We'll continue to run this program to ensure that we strengthen Singapore's position to truly be a global hub for software developers. But today, I'm especially excited to talk to you about Skills Ignition SG. In 2020, we launched Skills Ignition SG, a collaboration with EDB, IMDA, as well as Skills Future Singapore, and our industry partners to provide Singaporeans with digital skills training as well as hands-on experience amidst a shifting job market. To date, we're so proud to say that 5,500 individuals have acquired new qualification through this program, and many have secured jobs with local companies,
global companies, and Google included. A very inspiring example for us, Ramona. She's a stay-at-home mom who joined the program and did her on-the-job training with Google Pay. Today, she's a full-time program manager at Google. You will hear more about her story in the video shortly. So, with Skills in Action set to enter into its third year, today we're introducing 3 new efforts. In continued partnership with IMDA, we'll be announcing an enhanced traineeship program at Google, open to fresh graduates as well as mid-career professionals. 60 selected trainees will undergo a 12-month full-time training program in digital marketing or cloud architecture. This enhanced program aims to deliver a richer training experience as well as facilitate strong industry employability through providing them with better allowance to match the market rates. Next, we are adding a 5th certificate in digital marketing as well as e-commerce under the Google Career Cert, joining tracks like IT support, program management, data analytics, and user experience design. So, with this, we actually formed an employer consortium to better connect our graduates with job opportunities. The consortium started with just 16 companies. We're very proud to share that it has more than doubled to now 37 companies across various industries. We've also have MAS to support this effort by helping us bring and reach out to a broader range of financial institutions to join our consortium. In line with that, we're hosting our first Skills Ignition SG Career Fair today, and we're very honored to have the Minister for Communications, Information, Mrs. Josephine Teo, to grace our event. This career fair will foster meaningful interactions between our graduates as well as their prospective employers. Secondly, we'll be advancing AI capabilities to make artificial intelligence an everyday reality, with a shared ambition to accelerate the societal benefits of AI while ensuring equity, privacy, transparency, and accountability. We're today announcing that Google Cloud will be partnering with Smart Nation and Digital Government Group in collaboration in 3 areas. First, we'll co-create novel solutions in areas like finance, sustainability, and healthcare. Second, we'll be running AI competency programs to develop public sector capabilities. Third, we will be running the development of AI ethics and governance framework together with the National AI Office. This will complement the wider national effort by IMDA. Finally, it's such a privilege for us to be the first technology company to enter into a partnership of this nature. With this, I want to close by saying that we will continue to invest in contributing to Singapore's next phase of digital development. But before we close, let me roll the video to hear Ramona's story.
For 2 years, I was a stay-at-home mom looking after my 2 very young children without my husband as well because he was working overseas. It was so exhausting and I was just always so tired. I love my children to bits, but it was just not the life I had envisioned for myself. So my life before I became a parent, I was actually first a project manager in an oil and gas company. I wanted to go back to having a career and having progression in my life. I had lost so much confidence. I was even applying for roles that required no experience. And that's when I saw that Google actually has upskilling courses for people looking to enter the tech industry. And so I thought, maybe that's what I need. When I first received the offer to be part of the program, I was over the moon because it was 3 months of coursework and then 6 months of on-the-job training in Google. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. So the technical skills that I picked up from the program was the digital marketing aspect of things, learning how to run digital marketing campaigns, learning how to craft strategic decks to convince people of your ideas. So my 6-month traineeship program at Google, I got the opportunity to work with and learn from Googlers. And the most important thing I felt I learned was how to just be really thick-skinned and buay paise and just pitch yourself to everyone you know, because that's the only way that people will know what you do and offer you a role in Google. And I also managed to work on real-world projects, which actually impacted people that I knew. So it was a very rewarding experience. The Skills Ignition program has just been career enabling. It definitely helped me achieve my goal of moving into the tech sector because I managed to get a full-time role with Google. How amazing is that? So I'm finally in a place where I feel I'm becoming a woman and a mom that I can be proud of and my children can be proud of.
Wow, Ramona is here with us today. Ramona, a big hand for her. A proud woman and a proud mom. We are all so proud of you. With this, let me bring on stage Yolene to talk to you about how we're building a sustainable future for tomorrow. Yolene.
Thank you, Sherry. So the topic of building a sustainable future is a very important one for all of us. As a low-lying city-state, Singapore is particularly vulnerable to some of the consequences of climate change, and we are already feeling the effects. I'm sure many of you will remember feeling some of the hottest days in memory earlier this May. And it will keep getting hotter, because temperatures in Singapore are on track to rise by 0.25 degrees Celsius per decade, twice as fast as the global average. Obviously, climate change isn't a local or regional issue that we can reverse alone. It is one that every member of the international community must address immediately. Singapore's government has taken decisive commitments and action and is leading the rest of the international community by example with its Singapore Green Plan. Our government's dedicated undertaking has committed the nation to achieving net zero emissions by the middle of this century. At Google, we are inspired. We also have a net zero emissions responsibility to operate sustainably. Here in Singapore, we've also pioneered one of the most energy efficient data centers in a tropical environment with high urban density, resulting in our data center facilities being twice as energy efficient as a typical enterprise data center. We are also enabling other organizations and communities to make greener choices by introducing a variety of new sustainability features through our products like eco-friendly flight routes and eco-certified hotels. Another example close to home is cycling directions on Google Maps. After seeing a huge spike in searches on Google Maps for cycling routes in Singapore, we collaborated with the Land Transport Authority and NParks to recommend bicycle-friendly roads to encourage even more Singaporeans to get on their bikes. And in fact, we have set up this Google Maps feature in the product sandbox outside, and we invite all of you to experience it. But while we are proud of our progress, we can do much more. We believe combating climate change is best done when different sectors and communities work together. Last month, Google Cloud and the Monetary Authority of Singapore jointly announced the launch of the Point Carbon Zero program to drive the growth of technology-enabled climate finance solutions to support a greener future in Asia. Part of MAS's Project Greenprint, Point Carbon Zero will be powered by the world's first open source platform dedicated to climate finance. However, governments and businesses are not the only ones driving change. Nonprofits like Mandai Nature are leading the charge for nature conservation in Asia. And a key focus area for them is driving nature-based solutions to mitigate climate change and protect habitats and wildlife. In fact, research shows that such solutions could contribute up to 30% of the climate mitigation needed by 2050. And that is why today we are proud to announce that our philanthropic arm, Google.org, will provide a US $1 million grant to Mandai Nature in support of the Southeast Asia Climate and Nature-Based Solutions Coalition. The coalition brings together 8 leading environmental and conservation nonprofits in this region to develop high-quality solutions that will help mitigate climate change, conserve nature, and benefit local communities. A major challenge that nonprofits have faced in tackling the ongoing climate crisis has been the lack of credible data and evidence to inform where and how to implement plans at the pace and scale that is required. To address this, the coalition will develop an online tool that will map out areas in Southeast Asia that hold the key to carbon reduction and host rich biodiversity. The coalition will also share information from ongoing projects to inform and demonstrate and promote best practices in design, implementation, and monitoring of nature-based solutions. We are honored to support Mandai Nature with this funding, and we will continue to partner various organizations willing to fight climate change in Singapore and worldwide. Thank you, and I will pass back to Grace for the next segment.
Once again, thank you, Yolin, Sherry, Ben, and Scott for sharing Google's contribution to Singapore. It is truly by working together with the Singapore government, partners, and the wider community that we can make sure that Singapore remains at the forefront of Asia's extraordinary digital growth. I would now like to invite DPM Wong to the stage to deliver his remarks. Please join me in giving him a warm welcome.
President of Google Asia Pacific, Scott Bowman, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to join you for Google's 15th anniversary in Singapore. Of course, we all know Google started earlier. I think it's in 1998, so it's been an incredible journey of nearly 25 years. I think all of us might remember our first encounter with Google. I certainly do, because I started work around the same time when Google was founded in 1998. I was then a research economist in the Ministry of Trade and Industry. And you know, when you're doing research, you scour through all sorts of research documents. The internet was fairly new then, and it was emerging as a treasure trove of information. Brilliant for doing research, particularly at a time when in 97, 98, there was the Asian financial crisis. We wanted to find out more about the region, so we started using the internet. And when you start using the internet to do it well, you need a good search engine. Of course, you had a few options then. I won't mention names. But then someone said to me, well, have you tried this new search engine? It's really good. And so off I went to Google, started using it, and the results were remarkable. You know, you got so much information through the search, and I switched to Google, and I have never looked back since then. I don't think I'm the only one, because I know many people have the same experience, which is why Google remains the dominant leader for search on the internet. And of course, over the years, you have done a lot more in many other areas, whether it's Gmail, YouTube, Google Pay, Google Cloud, Google Maps, just to name a few. So Google has been an essential part of this digital transformation for the world and for Singapore, and you have changed countless lives for the better. Of course, Google has done a lot within Singapore too. You've made Singapore your home in Asia, serving users and businesses in the region and across the world, and you have grown your presence here considerably, now to 3,000 employees. You have also progressively invested in infrastructure. And I understand that today you are officially opening your third data center facility here. In particular, in the last 2 years or 2.5 years in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic together, Google has been a steadfast partner, because over the last 2.5 years, we've had to make significant adjustments to our lifestyles. We've had to study from home, learn from home, work from home, find new ways of connecting with one another virtually. And that technology has been a big enabler, and Google has stepped forward to provide such solutions. We've also had to reach out to seniors, different groups in the community to embrace technology, to learn to use technology, in particular to SMEs as well, to get on board their own digitalization journey so that they can make better use of digital tools to continue doing business even in the midst of lockdown and restrictions. So we are very grateful to Google, to everyone in Google in the last 2.5 years for working closely with the government in tackling the pandemic. Thank you very much for your contributions and hard work. We've had a strong partnership with Google these past 15 years. What will the next 15 years look like? No one can tell. We don't have a crystal ball, but I think when you look around the world, we can be sure that the next 15 years will be very different from the last 15 years. There are, of course, major uncertainties in the economic outlook, whether there will be a slowdown or inflation. These are issues that we watch out for very closely, but more fundamentally, I think we all know that the world is likely to be at a turning point. The last 15 years and more, we were operating on the logic that we could all do business together. Trade, investments could flow. Countries do not have to be friends for business to be done. I think now, increasingly, there is a new logic at work. Let's be friends first before we do business. So geopolitics increasingly is driving trade and investments. And if this trend were to continue, and it looks like it's likely to be here for a longer period of time, then we are heading to a more bifurcated and decoupled world. So we must brace ourselves for more uncertainties and more challenges down the road. But dealing with challenges has always been part of Singapore's nation-building journey. Because we are an improbable nation. We are a country that was never meant to be. And we are a little red dot with no natural resources at all. No one gave Singapore any chance for success when Singapore became independent. And so because of our inherent vulnerabilities, we are constantly reminded that the world does not owe us a living, that we have ultimately to count on our own wits and ingenuity to survive and to thrive. And that's what we have been doing since our independence. And in the process of this journey, I think we realized that for every challenge and vulnerability we face, there are also new opportunities. In fact, our challenges make us stronger. Our constraints and our limitations become powerful motivations for us to keep on doing better and to seek new opportunities for growth and transformation. So by embracing our karma, that we are small, we are constrained, I think we end up becoming better and better year by year. And so it is when we look at the next bound. When we see challenges and uncertainties around us, we do not have to feel intimidated or overwhelmed. Because indeed, amidst great uncertainty, there are still tremendous opportunities here in Singapore and all over Asia, and in particular Southeast Asia. In fact, the digital economy in Southeast Asia is only just getting started, fueled by a huge, untapped, but fast-growing digital consumer market. And Singapore, located at the heart of Asia, is well placed to capitalize on these opportunities. On the government's part, we will do everything we can to enhance our value proposition as a hub for the region so that we are in a much better position to capitalize on these opportunities. We are already a hub for finance and ideas. We will make it even more attractive. We will enhance our role as a hub for trade and for people and talent flows, which is why, if you heard the Prime Minister's National Day rally over the weekend, we are doubling down on our plans to expand both Changi Airport and our PSA ports. And we also want to be a hub for digital connections and technology. And that's why we are making investments in critical infrastructure and putting in place important enablers like the digital partnership agreements we have been pursuing with different countries. Of course, to be an effective hub, we also have to work with companies like Google to strengthen our tech ecosystem here in Singapore, especially in the areas of skills, innovation, and sustainability. And I'm glad that Google has been a strong partner of Singapore in all of these aspects. For example, through your Skills Ignition program, which you highlighted just now, your partnership with the Smart Nation and Digital Government Office on AI, and we look forward to the applications that may arise from this collaboration, as well as your partnership with MAS on ESG. Of course, as we work together on these different opportunities, on all of these different areas, we must also ensure that tech always remains a force for good in societies here and everywhere around the world. We all believe in the tremendous transformational potential of technology, but we also know that there is a need for guardrails to manage the downsides of technology. For example, downsides with regards to fake news, misinformation, online falsehoods, or online harms. And so we should work together to engage young people on cyber wellness, digital literacy. We should work together to ensure everyone can benefit from technology, including engaging seniors, helping them to learn new technology. I think it was Ben who said it's difficult for your parents. I know that for a fact too, because I've been trying to get my mother on board, but she's 82, but she's getting better now. You know, virtual connections, internet, much better now, so it's possible. Or upskilling, reskilling our workers, equipping them with new IT skills, or for that matter, continuing to reach out and engage more small and medium enterprises so that all local businesses are able to harness the potential and the power of technology. And in this regard, I'm very glad that Google is on board with us in all of these areas. And in fact, we have launched several initiatives on this front in partnership with the government, from training SMEs in digital marketing to helping promote good digital habits and creating safer environments for children online. These are important initiatives, and we value greatly the opportunity to work closely with Google on all of these programs. So all in all, we welcome Google as our partner in development, and we thank you for your many contributions over the last 15 years in Singapore. A big thank you to each and every Googler, all 3,000 of you here in Singapore, and I certainly look forward to growing and deepening this partnership together for many more years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DP and Wong. If I can, invite you to remain on stage, and if we can move to the left, and I would like to invite our speakers, Scott, Ben, Sherry, and Yulin, to join us for the photo opportunity right now. All right. Thank you, DP and Wong. At this point in time, I would also like to invite our media friends to the front of the stage for photo taking. All right. Looks like everyone is set right now. So DPM Wong and Scott, on my count, please press the button to initiate our Super G for the photo moment. So with that, 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! Now Google has been here for a long time, but this is just the beginning. We look forward to continuing to work together to create real economic opportunity for all. All right, thank you DPM Wong and our Google speakers. All right. Now, in the spirit of our recent National Day, and to commemorate this joyous moment, we would like to present everyone with a special live performance of a song that I am very, very certain that some of you, or most of you, are actually familiar with as we bring this event to a close. And of course, we welcome you to sing along if you're familiar with the lyrics. So I'd like to invite some of our YouTube creators in Singapore, Daniel Sid, Annette Lee, and Lee May Fernandez, to perform Home. Take it away.
Hi everyone!
Hello!
Good morning! Hi, so I'm Annette.
I'm Daniel Sid.
And I'm Alame, and we're so glad to be celebrating with you this morning. How's everybody feeling?
Yeah.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah. That's wonderful. What an exciting morning. What an exciting 15 years. We're here to celebrate with you. And we have a very special version of Singapore's favorite song. And we put our own individualness into it. Right, guys?
Yes.
Yes. So without further ado, hope you guys like this rendition of Home.
Hey Google, dim the lights.
Whenever I am feeling low, I look around me and I know there's a place that will stay within me. Wherever I may choose to go, I will always recall the city, know every street and shore, sail out the river which brings us life, winding through my Singapore.
This is home, truly, where I know I must be, where my dreams wait for me, where the river always flows. This is home, surely, as my senses tell me, this is where I won't be alone. For this is where I know it's home.
When there are troubles to go through, we'll find a way to start anew. There is comfort in the knowledge that home's about its people too. So we'll build our dreams together, just like we've done before. And just like the river that brings us alive, there'll always be Singapore. This is home,
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Wow, that was truly, truly beautiful. Please give a big round of applause once again to our fellow YouTube creators for that incredible performance. What a way to bring our first ever Google Singapore to a close. I'll now like to invite government guests to exit the hall. Your Googler guides are here to bring you through the product show and tell, but for the rest of the audiences here, please bear with us as we stagger the exit out of the hall. In the meantime, I would like to make a few key announcements. First, we'd like to invite you to pop by 2 special hands-on experiences after this event. First is our product show and tell hosted by our Googlers, where you can experience and find out more about Google products and features. Next, do visit our roving Google Online Safety Park as shared by Ben earlier at level 2. Simply follow the signs outside to get there. And finally, we would like to invite everyone to do a quick post-event survey by scanning the QR code flashed up on the screen. On behalf of Google, we would like to thank you, everyone in person and on our live stream, for joining us on this special day, and we look forward to the exciting digital future of Singapore together. Thank you.